Well, this is another day here in during the NAMM show. We're here live transmitting from Cremona, Italy. This is my workshop. Here you can see this is the front side. It's actually a very hidden corner in town, so not all the tourists are disturbing me while I'm working. And on the other side, everyone who is actually searching me is able to find me. Here we have a window, but when you pass, you see me on the window passing by. It's like these old postcards, you know, like this. And I keep on, and then I'm at the window like this. Okay, so this is my workshop. And here among these buildings, here you can see the tower of Cremona, which is this typical sign of her. So if this tower would fall down, probably I would get the tip of it just here. It's the highest church tower of Italy, 115 meters. So this is about 350 feet tall. And then here we go into my workshop, okay? And actually, I just wanted to show you the whole situation here a little bit before I keep on working a little bit. And here, this is a small cemetery of parts of instruments, which is here. And here you have also my perfume, which you can buy. I created this myself with a nose in France. It's called Violin, Eau de Parfum. Enjoy the secret. This is something also very interesting, right? And it's interesting taste. And let's keep the secret here, okay? Then here you have the flyers. I will make it that you can download the flyers. My Microsoft cloth, my microfiber cloth. And then here you have also some arts from one of my nephews in Austria. He's a very new-coming artist and is very good. His name is Paul Riedmüller. If you're interested in this kind of arts, each is for 500 euro. Okay, so this is a little bit this here. Then I also have postcards, and I have them here, nice postcards from Cremona, the tower which I just showed you here, which is very close here. And here another call from the patisserie. And here you have my rosin. It's a very nice rosin. It's made in Italy, in Monfalcone, and I get it made myself with this my brand on it. And it's with a magnet which you can open. Now with one hand I have difficulties. Now I can open it like this here. So this really looks very nice. And then when you close it, it makes click, and it's closed, and it's wooden rosin, very nice. And you can also have it in a different shape if you don't want the hard shape, you know. And then I have the sound adjustment kit, which I will maybe also make a short demonstration of this one. That would be also something interesting. So then if you have this kit, there's everything in you need to adjust the sound. The microfiber cloth is now for free for every order because I have reached the 10,000 subscribers. Actually, we're already at 11,000 on my YouTube channel. So I just give to everybody one of these microfiber cloths. This is the bottle of perfume. Oops, sorry. Here, like this, it's a little bit unstable because there is this here. And this is the perfume. When you open it up, it looks like this. There's the scroll inside, right? And then it folds together. You can tell I'm an artist, right? And then it goes like this. There's a bottle inside, and there comes the rest on top of it. Yeah? So this is a little bit the secret, and there's also the senses which are inside. It's completely handmade perfume. It's not super convenient or cheap. It's actually a high-end perfume. It's about, let's say with shipping, it comes to approximately 95 plus the shipping. It will be about 140, 150 US before you get it. But this is a little bit how it looks like. And then here I have these masks, which are out of cotton. Here with the trombones and the violins and the different instruments. Now all the violin designs went away, coffee beans, and you know, we have here music fantasy is a little bit like this. And you can see on my web shop all these masks, how they look like. There's even one with the US dollars, okay, not the euro. Yeah, so this would be something. And here's something which some people might know. Years ago I had this old Fiat 500, which was, I still have it actually in my garage, and there's now a mechanic who is coming in his free time to adjust a few things with this car, because there were always some tiny problems going on. And this is a little bit here, this whole entrance. This here is from a artist from Chicago, Charles Nivens. And then here we have all the violas. Actually, we have lots of violas. And then here there are some instruments of mine. Some are from the 80s even. Here there's one violin over there that was actually one of my very first violins, which I have sold, and then it was antique looking, and then I had to take off the varnish, and then one day I decided it becomes my private collection. So here there are a few instruments of my private collection, and when they have a white dot, it's actually my private collection. And even here the double bass, it's a double bass I made myself with a one-piece poplar back, and I designed the shape and everything of this double bass. Sounds very nice and mellow, and the sound is coming from very deep underside. Actually, I talk not enough about double basses. Here on the door, on the upper part of the door, you see backs from double basses which I made, and then I designed also some things for a decorated double bass, which I can show you later on over there in the musician room. And here the office is always a big mess. Okay, sorry about this. And then here we have a few violas, another more. So we have like 4, 5, 6, 7. And over there, 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, about 15 violas at least. And then here we have a little bit of stock of wood, which when I need the wood, I bring it downtown here, and then it stays here for a little bit, and then I bring it back to my house. This is a modern art here. And we're actually here in a building, and very close in the mirror you can see me, okay? This is me. This whole entire building is actually very high ceiling, 5.4 meters, which is about close to 20 feet high, okay, the ceiling. It's very high. This is also why it is the echo here in this very position. Hello, hello, can you hear me, the echo? Yeah, this is one position, a clear position in the room where the echo is very strong. And that's also the reason why I decorated with a lot of things and big paintings in order to reduce a little bit the echo. And then here we go all the way to the workshop. And you have some pieces for some cellos. Yeah, all these are always two together, and then here, and then sometimes I choose something from here. And here I go all the way down to the musician room. Okay, now it's dark here. Turn on the light like this. You can see it's also very high ceiling. And here we have a few cellos. This noise is the heating. Probably would be better I turn it off. And here you have a lot of cellos. Oops, there's one, the strings overnight went down. We have to pull it up again. Scala Perfetta, Linea Macchi, and there is also one of my master cello here. and I'm working on one, and in the corner there is this double bass which I wanted to show you maybe later on. Then a few bows, this is the Selection Russ bows, and then here the fridge with some Italian wine, shoulder rests, again me here, and certainly you can check me out on my YouTube channel, and you can subscribe, and so you will always be up to date when there is a new video going on on the channel. And I made a lot of videos regarding sound adjustment, and then actually specifically all the small details, what it actually makes to get a perfect sounding instrument, and what you can do yourself, and what you have to pay attention for at your instrument, at your violin, viola, cello, double bass, in order that the instrument sounds in its best solution, possibility, whatever. Here I have a few violin reference books, which are actually always good, and then my violins I have here stored in this big, I don't know how you call it, this big furniture here, which is huge. At least it wouldn't fit in my house. This, hold on, I just turn off the van of the heating. It's better now, like this. So this is actually the high ceiling, which is 5.4 meters high. Which is more or less exactly double what it would be usually, okay? So this is here a very big one. I also put it all these panels with artists panels in order to reduce the acoustics and the carpet, and then things like this, and video camera, things like this, yeah. And yeah, that's actually this room here with cellos and things like this. Interesting, some mentions of competitions. I'm not too much in this competition stuff inside, because I always think it is a little bit limiting you in doing what you actually would love to do. Then you end up to do something for someone in order that you get a nice grade. It's like learning to be the best student, but not learning for life. So I'm making for myself, and making this competition is a different way of working. But still, it's every time I participate at a competition, I always have learned a lot, but it's not that I would now live for a competition. Yeah, it's like, did you ever see artists competition? A competition in art? Maybe in school, but then once you're an artist, you wouldn't participate at a competition. Yeah. Just outside in my palace here, this building was at the time of Stradivari, was already, let's say, was already almost 200 years old, okay? So this is just here, the building where I'm in, okay? And I think in America something like this is very difficult to find, okay? It's so with me, huh? This here is also something interesting. This was a violin which I have made in 2012, and it has been made for the Sultan of Oman, and he actually arrived and ordered a violin of mine, and it had to be something particular, so I made a violin for him with 427 diamonds. These ones are only the small ones, and the rubies and the tzaverites. And then I put it in a double purfling along the body. I actually had to sign papers that I don't tell it to anybody. and it was top secret. And now the violin is in Muscat in the Opera House in a glass showcase, and it's not written that I made the violin, but it was actually at that time the most expensive violin ever being made. And it took me 8 months to make it. And it was a very challenging work. For those who believe that because of that violin then I got the workshop like this, I have to disappoint you. I had actually already this musician room and everything exactly that way at that time. So, and making a violin like this didn't really make me that rich as you would think. It was a lot of work and much more than you actually would expect. 32 people had to sign the privacy agreement, but now I can tell you because the Sultan of Oman, bin Said Qaboos, passed away at the end of January, beginning of February, I think, and last year. So now I'm actually free and I can tell you. Then here I have like my Guarnieri Sainton. This on the back side is actually a nice signature of Antonio Stradivari. So if you want to learn how to make the signature of Antonio Stradivari, here make a screenshot and start writing. Yeah, this one here is the Sainton Guarnieri, but I want to show in more detail the instruments later on when I'm live with you. Okay, so this is here the workshop like this, and then we go in here, and now there's not everybody working here in the workshop, but this is Marco Dotti. He's one of my very best apprentice. He's having more and more success, getting more and more orders. He just completed the order for one of his customers. Customer wanted a nice violin, so they decided to place an order from Marco. And of all these violins here, they're completely messed up. There is from Scala Perfetta, Linea Macchi. There's even a Chinese violin with lots of dust here. We don't have customers for this kind of instruments here, at least. Yeah, this is a Lord Wilton from Marco, and this is actually the Guarnieri Lafont, which Marco made. I think it is really a nice violin. Maybe we can go over there and then we see it better. And here you can see also the nice corners, a very typical Guarnieri style, and then the varnish, the oil varnish, which is with a nice texture, and the arching, very nice, similar model to the Isae. And he's just still varnishing, and he applied kind of a dark pigments. Now he still has to sandpaper, so then it becomes more transparent. Right now it's a little bit opaque because of these pigments, and then he started to make here the upper nut, and still have to fit the pegs, and the scroll. I think it's very charming violin, very nice. So this is a Marco Dotti Guarnieri, which has been commissioned already by a customer who enjoys to see that things are born here in the workshop. So now I think I will just go and have a nice hope to do like this here. And then I put the whole camera in here. So I'm sorry that it's now a little bit shaky, but now it will be more tranquil again. Like this. Very good. And then I will put on my apron and I will work a little bit. And while you're tu mi faresti un caffè?
Certo.
Mille grazie, se no devo andare live qua con loro alla macchina caffè. Right? You don't want me to go away to get the coffee done, so Marco is making me another additional coffee. During the fairs, that is one of the nicest things, that you can go and have a coffee. This is now my plan for today. Okay, so right now I'm doing this one here. Very good. And with this one then I will put you later on the working bench, and so you can see better what I'm doing. This is a nice Stradivari model of mine with some crackly on the back, but looks charming and has some precious stones. Here actually the diamonds are only on the rings, the rest are kind of like Swarovski. Grazie. And you can get that instrument also, you can take it from the online shop. Grazie. Prego, prego. So, actually today I don't know what I should do now. But I could make the channel of the arching of my Montagnana Cello, which I'm making here, which would be a nice thing. This here is the next Montagnana Cello. And I think this is always interesting. So I want to see if I can come all the way down here. No, I won't. Shall we do it like this? Up. Right. So you can enjoy seeing Edgar making his channel. Qua come stiamo andando con questo qui, questo era qua, questo qua, è già fatto o no?
Appoggiava abbastanza bene.
Sì? Allora a quel punto puliamo. Questa è la linea, no, quella era la prima, vero?
Non l'ho disegnato io.
No. Allora potresti adesso di nuovo tic, tic, segnare, poi facciamo la seconda linea e poi dopo vediamo. Però adesso non è importante, è giusto che questo sarebbe il prossimo passo. Mi piacerebbe che per stasera abbiamo finito, perché così settimana prossima. So this is this. Now let me see what you can see, and then I would like to make it in a way that you can actually see a little bit closer. Usually when you see videos about things, everything is already organized. I do it in front of the camera, right? I try to do my best here to have everything in the best possible situation. But this makes the whole virtual fair also extremely sparkly. Sorry. So with this one here, then you get it in the best solution. Sorry, I have to fetch 2 pieces of wood to clamp. To clamp this one here. Yep. And first, before clamping, we just sign quick the distance. Very good. So with this one, I just sign very thin. Until where I will make the channel around the purfling. So when you see this and you are interested in a great master violin to play or as an investment, this is the right place. And you can get here yeah. And one of the things here is also very interesting, that you can actually get it done. What is here disturbing? That you can also participate, making your violin while I'm making it. I can send you the pictures of while I'm doing it and while I'm building the instrument. And this is very interesting because then the instrument will be exactly how you want it. This is one part of the whole thing. I make these two here wet so it doesn't slip away. And up. You don't want to damage the whole thing. And now I will bring you a little bit closer in order that you can see very well what I'm doing. If you want to know more, you have to go on my Patreon channel. If you're a maker, then you get all the measurements, recipes, and things. You just ask and you get it, okay? And here now, we're going to do something like this, right? Now with this light here like this, certainly you see too much, but if I don't have the light, I don't see, so let us see how we can do that. Should be better like this, right? Just have to touch the screen, then you can see it better. And we do it a little bit like this. And then I take my chisel, my gauze. So I will very likely use this 3. And so with this one I go inside the C, with this one I go inside in the upper and the lower area and make the outside of the C, and with this one I make the outside of the upper and the lower area. Yeah? So I take the smallest and I start carving here. Need to change my glasses. Old man, don't see. And I only make a small, doesn't cut that well, you know. I thought it's usually my tools cut very well, but here you have to. Yeah. Let's see if it's enough only with the leather. And it would be nice if you can see it better what I'm doing, so I'm trying to take the whole camera, go closer. We put you into the manfrotto. And then we see if you can see this here. This would be just so nice. Let's see if this works now. So here I cut the channel. I glued in my purfling, and now I signed before with this small tool here, with this here, just like this. A very thin, small sign. And now with the smallest chisel, I start only from the inside. So this is just to clear my way. So this means that from the purfling in towards the arching, I take away something. Do you see this? Yes. So then also here a little bit. So with this one, that was only the inside, I'll make it also on the other side. And then I take the other one. With this one, I would make here now the rest outside. And I make the inside of this part of the lower and the have to see if you can see that. Yeah, that would be nice, huh? So we can here try to make it a little bit here, the inner part. And so I'm usually soon coming here. And here I like that the arching is straight, so I also make like a so this is this part. Let's see if I can, because it's not actually the right position. Let's see. So this one I have to pass off the leather, sorry. So you didn't expect to go to the NAMM show to see somebody working like this, huh? Actually, usually when we go to the fair, to the physical real fair, instruments are already finished. Well, this year I decided to have many pieces because of COVID. I just thought, you never know if there comes the next do you see that? We could make it better, right? Let's try to capture it like this. Yeah, that's good. Now, because here I cannot work, so I have to change it. So I leave it like this and I make it like this, okay? Usually I have all the instruments ready for the fair, but this time I just prepare a lot of pieces and you can actually see them. And then I can finish them for you. Yeah. Which I think is more like we do it together, you know? You tell me which one you want, and then I finish that one for you. And to own a great violin, you don't have to be able to play the violin, you know. Mr. David Fulton is the second biggest shareholder of Microsoft in Seattle, has the biggest collection of fine string instruments, and he is not able to play the violin. He's just a collector. And they usually buy old instruments. Now you would say, well, an old instrument is completely different issue, but actually it's a very similar issue, because old or new, the price increase per year in average, as long as you know who made the instrument, is the same. So it's important that you know who made the instrument. So since you see me here working, this instrument is now already documented. So at the time of Stradivari, this would have been great fun for because then lots of people would know this is now the instrument he made in this and this time, right? So the more you document the birth of an instrument, the more it's documented that this is an original, right? So if you could have made a picture with a cell phone in your hand with Stradivari, that would be super, huh? So here I'm just showing you what I'm doing here all the way. We go a little bit here in this direction. And I really hope that you can see what I'm doing. Right. Ta-ta. Questo qui, questo qua. Usually I don't work in front of the camera like this, but recently I make myself jokes about me because I'm only working in front of the camera. Because there are so many other things to have to be done before we could here actually be ready for you. I just want to show you what I'm doing, but it's so light, you know, we don't want that to be like this. This is actually good, so that you see what I'm doing here. So here now, all the chisels I take here, I have to hone a little bit on the leather. I'm not sure that the great masters were having so well sharpened tools, but certain things they certainly were pretty good. So this one here is a Domenico Montagnana Cello. Yeah. Like this. This one I make when I turn it around. Ta ta ta. This one from the other side. Yep. So this is a little bit what I'm doing here. Make a little bit like this here. So now this is from the inside, this is from the other side. Da, da. So now that you're looking here, leave your contact and then I can follow you, or you can make me questions and ask things about my violins. Da, 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 da. Okay. So here we can do this one here. Okay. You need to see it like this. And here we go like this. turn the whole piece. And I also thought that maybe it's nice if I turn you also as well to the other camera, to the other spot here, like this. Now with this one here it's not so nice, but like this is better. And then we can seal like this. It goes pretty quick, right? It's not this difficult actually, but it's not the first time now, of course, but it's good. Good to good. Yeah. So we first cut the inside, so here we still have to do something. We have our 3 chisels. So this. Then I complete the outside here. Here we finish this one with this one. Here we go, like this. Up, up, up. Okay, last part here. Cellos you can have in different models here. This is the Montagnana, which actually has a, somehow, I don't say a bad, but everybody agrees that it sounds well, but a lot of people are a little bit afraid of a Montagnana because they think it is so large that they can't even have it between their legs, which I think is not really a serious argument, but certainly, okay, it's bigger, it's larger, that's of course, that's true. But because it is larger, it doesn't has a more fatigue to make a tone or something. And so, but it is legs, it's a little bit shorter. It's the original is 74.4, and I just make it exactly the same measurement. So that means it is not as large. If I would put now this one on 76 or something like this, then it certainly becomes larger, and then you get serious problems to get it into a cello case. But I make it exactly the original size, and which is also good for the tone, because a smaller, a shorter cello makes a rounder and bigger C string, okay? And that's the main thing about the Montagnana cello. So getting a shorter body makes a rounder and fuller sound, okay? And for those who don't like to have a Montagnana, there's always the Ruggeri, which has a better reputation, but actually the sizes are very similar to the Montagnana. But at least they can say that they don't have a Montagnana, but a Ruggeri, which is more or less the same, but it's sound-wise it's slightly different. I think the Ruggeri, I can't actually describe the difference, but if you go on my web shop, you have the cello of, right now, of Anna Arieti, which is here. She worked here for many years and now opened her own shop, and asked me if I want to offer her cello because she just completed it, and she opened her workshop just when Corona started. So da, 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 da. And this is it. And now I make a stuff around with a bigger chisel, not chisel, gouge, like this. Maybe even with a flatter one and bigger one. Yeah. I guess you don't see what I'm doing, right? Can you see better? Not really, huh? Who knows if you can see. Whoop. This is too high, too big, far too high. Yeah, just take away idea if this is interesting, but it could be also boring. But on the other side, it's always nice to see people working, right? Here you see that after I made the channel here, I'm passing it, attaching it to that, but here the arching is still too high, so still can low down here the So a cello like this costs about, now the 2020 price was 54,339 euro, which includes the Italian consumption tax, which means that for you it is approximately 55,000 US without the Italian consumption tax, and I'm raising the prices. But if now somebody during the show is ordering a cello, which means that you have to pay half of it in advance, and then when the cello is ready, we make a sound recording, and everything during the process of making, I'm sending and updating you with pictures, and then you pay the rest. You certainly can also pay before the rest, and then the instrument, it will be packed and shipped to you, and it's approximately, let's say, 800 euros to, in the worst case, to ship it to you. And then it depends to know it exactly. Actually, on my web shop, if you go, you can see how much it would cost if you put your address inside. And then you see how much it would be to ship the instruments to you. And this is right now the most expensive cello, which doesn't mean that it would be completely the most expensive. And then the new price after the show, the new price is approximately 6-7% more. And prices are going up the past years more and more. And so this is actually the interesting part of these instruments, because prices are going up, and it's not only my instrument, it's all handmade instruments where you know who it made. Yeah. And then it depends on the maker of how famous he is, how good the quality is. And I have a lot of musicians already who are very happy, from Vienna to Japan, China, and all over the world. Still too high here. Usually I don't make it like this, but it is so much to take away that refinish is nice for you, okay? And then So this is here the thing about the top here. Just want to see how high this one is. Probably I cannot even measure it because it's too high. Let me see. Yeah, it's higher than 28. I have to low down the whole arching. Yeah, like this. And we can also make a little bit the channel of the back, which is also very high, maybe too high. If the arching is too high, the whole instrument is too stable, and then it doesn't vibrate. I have to sign here. Now this one is the maple, which is a little bit thicker and a little bit harder. To see that you see it. That. Yeah. Like this, I will just change a little bit the camera, otherwise it's getting boring for you probably. This is what I guess, or I hope it's not going to be like this. Who knows? Hope you appreciate this. Here we go with the lamp up, and with this one as well. And if we do like this, you can see even here the Patreon advertising, and then certainly you can also check me out on the YouTube channel, and if you subscribe on the YouTube, you certainly make me a pleasure, because even if you don't buy a violin, at least you look at my videos, and because you are signing up, my videos will be suggested to other people more often, and this is certainly something I would love to see. If you are a musician, you see how much work it is to make a cello, and certainly routers could do the same thing in a short time, but since I've never seen an instrument made with routers which sounds better than mine, I continue doing it by hand. And this is also the reason why it costs so much, and why they sound so well, and why it's also a good investment, because even so it seems, but it won't be, that I will live forever. And the older you become, the more precious your instruments become, because you won't be able to make hundreds, right? Stradivari actually made all his instruments, all his cellos, I think in 2 or 3 years, and then he quit it with the cellos. Yeah, and his cellos are actually not, now they're very expensive, but they're not the best sounding cellos, okay? It's more historical value, and certainly a good instruments, but they're not the super best sounding ones. Da, 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 da. Yeah, going next. Off. Let me see. So here we finish the C. That's exactly the way how you thought it is made, right? Da, 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 da. At least I think so, or I hope so. In case it's not like this, even better. Because this is the reason why I am transmitting this, in order that you can have an idea of how much time goes into it to make something like this. And I believe that I'm already one of the quicker ones, but this goes here. Da, da, da. Da. I hope you enjoy that. The whole thing. Oops, it's just not so easy to adjust this one here. Marco, tu mi potresti prendere il libro dove c'è dentro il Montagnana? È quello lì turchese. Mm? So then I show you soon now what I'm actually here doing and how I make my channel here along the purfling. I think it's called the fluting, but I'm not sure if this is the fluting or the part which is from the purfling towards the arching, but more or less every maker actually made it in a different way. Yeah, grazie. This is a nice book from 1997, which was during the exhibition of Lendinara in 1997. And this was by Carlsen Cacciatori Neumann. Now they split it up already. And here is the page which is used the most, is the Sleeping Beauty. And here I have all my signs and how long the fingerboard is. Interesting that the fingerboard of the Montagnana is also shorter than usually. And I can even tell you about, I met even the one who played the Montagnana Sleeping Beauty in Baltimore in the year 2000. I think he passed already away, if I'm not wrong. And he played on my Montagnana and liked it very much, which is always nice to hear if people like what you do. Oh, I thought there was the measurements in here, but they aren't. Okay. This is somehow a pity, but I have the measurements over there, but let me see if there are the measurements here. Usually, no, they're not in here. They're over there on my working bench. And I wanted to show you what I am doing here. So now if we have here, let's say, the lower corners of the back. Now, here is the model of the Montagnana, and the length of the body here is 74.4, and the top is 74.5, the length of the instrument. This is just my template. It's not symmetric. It's typical of the Montagnana. And what I actually wanted to show you here, I have to take you here down. Oops, it's getting here shaky. And then I have to put you into this here. Now I have to swip the camera like this, okay? So here now you see the book, and here's the back, right? Now we go around. You don't have to turn, just stay where you are. And now what I wanted to show you is here, for instance, this is the top and this is the back, and the instrument itself has been consumed a lot. So a corner like this, I'm going to make exactly the corner like that, right? Because otherwise it's just boring. And so the original here, it gets also the ebony crown. I will do that. I have my templates over there, and I make it. And here, for instance, this is where the corner is going into the knee, and you see already how much it is consumed, right? So what I do in such a occasion is that I make my channel already. I make it already like this, the purfling, just like it is in the original. And then when I finish my cello, I just finish the corner, I consume it like this, okay? And here this corner is nice, but the purfling, you can tell that was a super nice corner. So then here I make it like this. Yeah? Can you see that? So you can already imagine how the whole corner is going to be consumed like this. Yeah? And the upper corner here, And then you see it here, how it is, and how the I don't know where I'm here, how this black is going super long in front. So I just make it like this, and I make it a little bit maybe exaggerated, but the corner will finish over here, and then it's getting a corner like this, yeah? Or the corner up here. This one here is less long, it's a little bit also, let's say, not so precise, yeah? And so then I also make it the same way, and then I make these tiny holes, and I make it in order that once it is finished, it's getting exactly that way, okay? Now what I was doing now was cutting all this channel all around. On the bag, it takes a little bit more because it's more heavy. Make some super nice, I don't know how you call it, chips. Yeah? Those are the most super deluxe wooden chips. They have this purfling inside. And when you start violin making, then you even collect them and put them into the jars. And then after 3 years, you throw them away. Right? Here there are another few pieces I was working recently in order that I can show you what I'm doing. The Montagnana is interesting because the shape itself is extremely unsymmetric, okay? I don't know if you can see that here. That here it is very nice and equilibrated, and here it is like open, stops the curve, another curve, and then whoop, a different curve here. So it's left and right very different. Yeah. The F-holes are small F-holes which are a little bit particular actually. Something here, this line is very flat. And Stradivari never made an F-hole like this. Yeah. But still, Montagnana and Stradivari are very similar, okay? So you often find on a Stradivari a scroll of Montagnana, or the other way around. Varnish is similar. Also Montagnana used the wood preparation as Stradivari used, and which I also use. The scroll is particularly without varnish here, and just a little bit in here, very, very light here, while because it is touched a lot while it is played, a lot of underneath and one side to another, they don't super fit, but altogether it makes a very nice impression together. You see all the patches and what I signed for the next times I'm making the cello. And yeah, it's okay, I wrote here that the back is 29.7 and 30.5, the arching of here, so that's why I left it higher, because my specimetro, this one here, doesn't measure more than 27.9, so okay. So that's why I have it here like this, yeah. This is actually a very nice cello. I would love to make more cellos, but even here now, this year, I didn't make too many cellos. Or actually, I was working a lot on cellos. I prepared a few from Ruggeri to the Montagnana, and then the Stradivari Gore booth. And in order that I'm ready to take out the pieces when I want to make one. Here underneath the working bench is always interesting, right? Now here I have actually interesting violin. Actually I can do everything, you know, for you whenever you want something particular. This one, for instance, is a very interesting violin which I want to make with double purfling, so I still have to make a second purfling. It's a nice Stradivari corner and typical Stradivari F-holes, and these are the ribs. And there's a strange material, right? This wood is 48,630 years. And I made already instruments out of it. So when it comes to seasoned wood, this is probably the oldest wood I've ever used. It comes from New Zealand, and I just made this violin to make it something particular. I made already 2 instruments. They sound not so bad actually. And so this is somehow what I do here. And then I can show you also some other instruments actually. I'm also making the Stradivari chaconne, for instance. The Stradivari chaconne is also interesting because here I have more than one top for that one. Because the chaconne is this famous Stradivari where you can have where you see the I don't know how you call this in English, something like this. So I make more than one top, and I think 4 tops and 1 back, yeah, something like this. And then this is the back for it. The back here from the chaconne, and then this is another chaconne, I think, yes, where the piece is in here, and then we will see how it turns over. Now from the outside, this one doesn't see anything, and the other ones are all like this, tuck, tuck, tuck. And I made this actually because I wanted to make it for Rainer Küchel, but now I think it's Raimund Lissi in Vienna, Austria, first violinist, who is playing the Stradivari chaconne, which has been bought from the Austrian National Bank. Yeah. At the time they bought it, they said it was the best sounding instrument, but best sounding violin, I don't know. But Küchel told me that it's a very difficult sounding instrument, very difficult to make it sound. The one here in the middle, this is another interesting violin. This is a copy of Carlo Antonio Testore. Very particular F-holes, very particular body, unsymmetric, like this. Interesting scroll, right? I should focus here like this. Very particular scroll, right? And then I leave it like this with all the signs of the tools. Here a brand mark also inside, and then on the back the purfling is only scratched. And you see a lot of tool marks on the back itself. And then even the tailpiece, I made the tailpiece as well. So, just as the original. I don't know if I have the book here. Yes, I have the book actually here. I can show you. Hop. So here you have this book, and there is usually the Testore is in here. So here you have the Testore with this tailpiece, and then I made it like this. Yeah, so this is mine, and this is the one from the book, yeah, like this. And then I try to make the corners as much as possible as it should be. So let's say this is a worn corner like this, and here the 2 purflings don't even touch. And then I make here also the nice corner, and then here where the 2 don't even touch. And things like this, yeah. Just, so this is mine, and this is the one from the book, yeah. Carlo Antonio Testore, 1746, yeah. And then you get something like this. It's actually a super, oops, with all the tools. It's a very strong sounding violin. extremely strong and powerful. It's like a soloist cannon. Yeah. I hope you like this. Here are my tools. Usually my working bench is not like this. It's moved towards on this side and the whole room. I show you how the whole room is here set up. Like this with the artificial light. And the high ceiling, which is 5.6 meters, 5.4 meters high. Over there we have another room with coffee machine and a few working benches. And here is working Marco. Here's Min. Over there sometimes there are some other fellows working. Just who happens and who needs to be here. Yeah. This here is a Montagnana Scala Perfetta, which is already ordered and goes away, and they wanted to get the Wittner precision pegs, which is a specific peg which you turn here 4 times and then he turns here once, so you can avoid the fine-tuners, and it's easier and quicker to tune. They wanted a new style varnish, not too shiny, so we sanded it. It's still a little bit shiny, but we cannot do it better, but the sound fingerboard is very well. And yes, you still have to finish here a little bit, but this is a Scala Perfetta. This is the working bench of Mina Mazzolari and her last Guarnieri Hi-Fats, which is a very nice instrument. Too bad for you that it is already taken, but we accept new orders, and this is actually a very nice violin, I think. I will be back. From 9 to something Californian time, Pacific time, and try to be in your timetable during the days here. And I do all my things like this here. Here you can get all the secrets, okay? We have here hidden all around some scrolls and things like this. Yeah? These here are the chips of the 48,000-year-old wood, which I showed you before. And this is it, my wife. And these are the Rolling Stones. Too good, huh? Like this. Anything else I can show you here? All the molds here. These are most molds we are using. The ones which have a sign like not the ring but the inner form is actually the typical Cremona style. And then the other one, which is the ring, is more, they also call it the French style, and usually it's used for mass production because you can make the ribs in one side and then top and back on another side. But actually, I use the French or the outside if the body of the instrument is not transparent, not symmetric. And for doing a copy where the top and the back don't have a regular overlapping of over the ribs, it's very nice to use this. So when it's a unsymmetric copy of an instrument like the Hi-Fats or the Ole Bull or things like this, then I make it with a ring, and then I make my ribs like this. And so nowadays you have to adjust a little bit what you can do here. Yeah. And then here we have the other workshop. And here are also some other molds. And then you have the Gore booth, the Domenica Montagnana, the ribs of the cello, which I was working already. And then the Francesco Ruggeri, the 7/8, and the Francesco Ruggeri. Yeah. And the coffee machine here in the corner, which is always warm. And then here you have ribs for some cellos. I got them all lined up like this because then I saw that I had some animals in the woods. So then I start just to catch the eggs and all this. I just cut everything and I got them worked. So I hope I destroyed all this. And on the back side, there are all the tops which I recently, in bags for my violins, which I prepared in case we have a lockdown. I prepared all this in order that I just have to fetch them and take a few tools in a bag, and I'm ready for another month to work. And similar is it here. This is what we did first. We prepared violins. Now we have here Lord Wilton, and Stradivari and Guarnieri Ole. We prepared these up to that point, and once we need them, then we take them and we complete them. Okay, so it's this year was a little bit different than usually, because usually I don't make so many. These are all my master violins. And I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 10 or something, 11, 12, something like this in work in process, in order that I'm prepared for an eventual lockdown. And then we even were talking about how we could actually, what we have to do, everybody of us, who does what and who takes what back home, in order that we can continue, and then we can continue to pay our salaries. And so I preferred also now for the fair not to have all the instruments ready, but I prefer that things are prepared and you can choose. And then what you want, we finish, and we work on that one. Yeah, so this is our messy workshop, which becomes more and more messy. And this over there in the very last corner, this one is a 7/8 Scala Perfetta cello. And I just got a mail from someone from Australia who wants a full-size 7/8, similar like the one from Jonathan Humphreys, who is a YouTube online cello teacher, and his students are more and more interested in playing on my instruments. Yeah. So I think this was a good insight. Usually during a fair you don't see people working this hard like me. And yeah, I'm soon back with you, and then we can chat, and you can make me answer questions, and you can search on my web page. You can configure on my start page of my website. You can configure your dream instrument, and I'm looking to get in touch with you. Very good. See you soon. Ciao, 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 ciao.